here's the deal. This is the conditioning cycle that you guys are gonna go into starting on Monday, January 2nd, which is this Monday. And yeah, the format here and the reason behind the format and then what to expect in class, these are all things that I kind of want to talk about. So obviously you guys, this is a different looking setup than what we did for the hypertrophy cycle, okay? So that cycle, for example, you had certain days that were catered towards specific body parts. Back and hamstrings on Monday, shoulders and quads on Tuesday, etc. So the movements in the strength part of the workout, they were, centered around those body parts. Now this gets a little more broad. You guys have a day 1 Monday, which is lower body, and a day 2 Tuesday, which is upper body, and then day 4 and day 5, so Thursday, Friday, kind of mimic day 1 and day 2. You guys, day 3s and day 6s, so your Wednesdays and Saturdays, those remain your longer conditioning days, kind of your active recoveries, if you will, okay? So at least you know what to expect there in terms of your weekly split. Now, the evolutions are efficient, okay? They're efficient and they're effective because you guys can now get in strength work at an 80% intensity, which means that you're moving through everything continuously. Now, anyone who's ever done this can attest to this. They'll say, yeah, I was sweating the whole entire time. I did all the stuff, not just the conditioning piece at the end. And that's why it's a conditioning emphasis cycle. You can kind of mask strength work as conditioning, and then if you look at the Evolution 2 on Tuesday, you've got a gymnastic component here now, so there's your skill work, but you're moving through it at 80% with a strength thing. So it's just kind of a different way to structure a workout so that you still do strength, you guys still do skill, but now it's clear that the emphasis is conditioning, not hypertrophy, which was the last 10 weeks from October to through December, all right? So we'll do this conditioning cycle from January to April, and in April we'll switch to a strength cycle, all right? Now the strength cycle would take us through August. Here's the cool thing about this. You guys put on this muscle, you guys have all improved, and I wouldn't tell you this if I didn't actually notice it or didn't think it, believe it or not. You guys might be like, well, of course, it's his gym. He wants to tell us that we improved or he's noticed that. But I rarely do that. For those of you guys who know me, I don't give out compliments unless I feel like they're really deserved. And why did I say deserved? Deserved. So that's all to say, you guys have changed in terms of how you look and how you move, and I've been really encouraged by that. And I want to say it's in part to you guys being open and accepting to trying something different in terms of the program and allowing yourselves to adapt and just change mentally in terms of how you view a workout. I think that was great. From August to December, I really feel like people made a lot of strides there and people are continuing to make progress. And the way that we continue to make progress now that we're 3-4 months into this is that we switch up the emphasis again. I've talked about, you guys, why seasons have to be focused specifically. And like I've also said before, just because something takes on the emphasis doesn't mean all the other stuff gets taken out. This doesn't mean your program has no hypertrophy work or no strength work now. It's just not something where you can be like, oh, I'm gonna be the strongest I've ever been come April. That's not gonna happen, okay? Will you be the most conditioned you've ever been? Probably. I'm willing to bet, just because I felt that way and I've been doing this for 12 years. I did this last year. So that plays into another thing I wanna say was if you look at this and you're like, well, I can do more than 95 pounds in the squat or the bench press. I'm sure you can, and that's awesome. I probably can too, and I could at the time that I started this cycle, but it was week 1. I have to let it build because volume and intensity need to increase each week. Now, if you start too high on both of those and you're just loading up your day with stuff and everything you do is like you're going to a red line or your intensity is super jacked up, you have nowhere to build. Okay, so this is just a simple concept of you start with something a little bit less and a little bit easier to kind of like wrap your head around, wrap your body around, I guess, in this sense. That's the last time I say that. And then, yeah, week 2 would be more than this. Week 4 would be more than week 2. Week 7 would be more than week 4. And that's kind of how we do it, all right? So that's the deal on that. I'll talk in class about how I want the class to move through it. I won't waste time in this video doing that, and I'll brief the coaches on how to run a class through that. That is going to be a different format for you guys, but you will get used to that as well. The last thing I want to talk about is the CrossFit Open is in February. Now, I just said this cycle goes from January to early April or mid-April, somewhere around there. So when the CrossFit Open comes up in February 16th is the first week of that. It falls smack dab into the middle of this, and it kind of works out just from a performance standpoint. So think about the last cycle we did, geared towards putting on lean muscle. I put on that lean muscle. I'll just use myself as an example. West had the same emphasis from October to December that you guys did at East. The workouts were just different. So I got bigger or gained weight doing that. That was the intention. I don't feel like I'm at my best from a conditioning standpoint, but that's okay because that was not the emphasis. So now from January to April, it's time for me to trim down a little bit, put that new muscle that I gained to good use, and you know, if it ends up being something where I can display that or like show my body what I'm capable of from a performance standpoint in the open, that's awesome, all right? I think the open is extremely uplifting and like, you know, it's a beautiful experience from a community standpoint. There's usually someone that does something they've never done before. I've talked about this in the past in videos I made. But if you guys at East are on the fence about doing the open, or maybe like signing up, like let's say you're one of those people who's like, well, what if I do it, but I just don't sign up? It's just not the same thing. Like there's not as much buy-in, I guess. I don't get any money. I don't get a kickback from CrossFit for, you know, recommending that you guys sign up for the $20. Like I wish I did, but yeah, so I have no reason to tell you that other than, you know, I think it's just a community thing. If we all went, you know, paintballing for someone's birthday at the gym, I'd want 50 people to go to that also. So I think the more the merrier, and if you guys are scared or on the fence about doing it, think about every competition that we've seen so far, whether it was the Clash or the Battle of the Best. Those are very like, just awesome experiences. I think even people spectating would say that the last time at the Battle of the Best, there was a lot of like uplifting stuff that happened there. So this is kind of the same deal. So yeah, I'm never gonna create a workout plan, whether it's yearly or monthly or whatever, to the CrossFit Open. That's not what we do. My workout plans are created so that you guys can make progress year round and understand the safest and most effective way to get to where you want to go. But these things like the CrossFit Open do come up, and I think they're dope. And yeah, I would love everyone to do it. Last year at West, I think we had 40, 50 people sign up. And it's just a full thing, man. So anyways, if you guys have questions on this stuff or, you know, what anything else surrounding this topic looks like, then just email me and let me know. The accessory work, that would be on top of the class stuff. Contact me if you're interested about that. I can give you more info there. It's always gonna play towards the cycle, whether you need help with skill stuff or you just need extra conditioning work. But I'm not gonna give you guys anything extra in class because I do feel like this is enough for class right now. It's all that I did last year. It's all I would recommend you guys do too. Those of you people that were doing accessory stuff already, you're at the point where you can handle that volume. You know, if you are interested in accessory stuff, then let me know, but it's gotta be a conversation that we have. It's not just something I want you to sign up for on your own, okay? So anyways, take care, you guys. I'm happy that I'm at 10:02. Anyways, Happy New Year. Love you all. You're my favorite gym. What? All right, bye.